Buckle up. All right, here we go. NEKY Now live with David Iery. My name is John Holder. I'm your host, and finally got the man of the hour on the show here. Um, David's been a good friend of mine for a long time now, and he's had me on his show, and now he's paying me the favor back. And if you get a chance today, visit NEKYNOW.com. I finally updated our front page. It's not with any new feature story or anything, but I kind of reprinted the blog post that I did from November, Dave, about the diamond dinner and that. I've got a lot of good comments, and if you've read that, I very much appreciate it. And if you haven't, take you a couple minutes and check it out, and you'll find out what David and his foundation's all about. We'd ask you to join NEKY Neighbors. That's our private Facebook group. If you join NEKY Neighbors, you'll know that it's National Donald Duck Day. So I mean, important stuff like that going on, right, Dave? We cover it all over there. We got a lot of different topics going on, and it's just a fun thing to do with people in the area here. So, Dave, I'll shut up a little bit. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Now you've been putting on what's been filling my sports void is 8 o'clock show when I remember it and try to. When 8 o'clock rolls around, David's interviewing a local, well, not a local, but a baseball guest or somebody. Connect baseball usually because the name of the show is Going to Bat with Team Iery. And so far, I think me and Sammy's been the only kinfolk that's been on there, only kind of father son common. We've got that distinction going, right?
Yes, you do. And before we get too far into this, John, I was going to tell you that I was in Vanceburg yesterday, and I was up there. Of course, we had fiscal court, and I went to Osmond's afterwards, pharmacy there, and you're probably a little familiar with that place. And I went up to this woman in there. I was trying to kind of promote your Facebook page here, and she slapped me. I don't know what the deal is, if you can see my face a little red or not there, but I went up there and I said, I was telling her about the good things you do with your show here, and how you support local people and businesses. And I said, you really need to watch this. And baby, if you don't care, you need to get NEKY Now. I don't know if she thought I said naked now or what, but man, that was rough. But anyway,
you got backslap, brother.
But I just wanted to kind
of. We got to watch that twang, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're getting some flack for the name. Maybe we should have thought that out a little further, but it's got a nice ring to it. You can do what you want with it. But we have a lot of fun with it. I call it a good news blog. So we just try to focus on some local artists and some neat people that have a neat story to tell. The Tammy Rigsby post that we did the other day and talked about her portrait of Mary June. That was a really neat story, and I think a lot of people enjoyed that. I need some help. I need some suggestions and some people. If you'd like to blog or something, we could work something out. You know how it is. Content's hard to come up with, and I don't know who does it for you. I have an idea. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's just you, but whoever lines up your guests, they do a very good job, don't they, David? A really good job.
Yeah, I line up my guest. It's me. I got contacts with different people, so I kind of use there's that 6 degrees of separation. I tell people it takes about 10 degrees of separation from me because it takes me more people to get through to get the guest on here. But I've contact these guys and through my contacts, and then maybe straight forward and get a hold of them. But everybody's been very graceful and to be on the show, and they like it. Tomorrow night we have Al Oliver coming up. He's going to be on tomorrow night at 8:00, and we're going to talk to him. Right. But with your show,
awesome.
With your show NEKY Now, I'm just kidding you about the situation yesterday. I think it's very catchy that it's called NEKY. So which I'm just giving you a hard time. I told your wife yesterday I was going to do that to you this morning, and she kind of laughed and said, "Go ahead, it's going to be fun." So I had to do that to you. But yeah, we have a lot of good things
yeah. She'll tell you to pour it on.
Exactly, but we have a lot of good things going on. Different interviews. I know we've got Oliver coming up. Brandon Berger, he's going to be here in a couple of weeks. He played for the Kansas City Royals. I think next Wednesday, Tim Martin, which is an official Red Sox scout, he's going to be on. So we're doing a lot of good things, getting the outreach out there. A lot of the high school baseball coaches are on, and it's been a really good thing.
You had Cody Pott from Corbin on last night, and my comment was, I loved your hats, fellas. You both had the Cincinnati C there, and that's Corbin's kind of logo. I remember that from I forget, since 8, 9, 10 years old, one of those little travel ball teams. But we played a Corbin bunch, and by golly, they looked exactly like that too. They all had the little Reds hat on and Red Hounds and that base thick in that territory. It's a good baseball country. Coach Philpott was a neat interview for you. And name some of the other people. You said who you've are having on, but drop some names of the ones that you've had on, and people can go back and watch these if they haven't seen them. I'm telling you, people, forget Netflix and Hulu and all that good stuff. It costs too much money. This is free, and it's just as entertaining, and it's local, and I thoroughly enjoy it, Dave. Who are some of the other people you've had on there?
Okay, I'm just going to tell you, if not, I'm not paying attention to you. I just went down to Facebook and shared this. So when you see me looking down, I was trying to share our interview here on the Facebook page. But
I appreciate that.
The very first interview was the biggest. But that was you, of course.
Who's that?
That was you. And then, we've had.
It's all been uphill.
There you go.
From there.
There you go. And we've, I think last night was number 26. So we've had 26 interviews.
Wow.
We've had Pat Dorsey, which, he got his notoriety from, giving the home run up to Carlton Fisk in this 75, 76 World Series there, 75. Yep, 75 World Series. And Johnny LeMaster. Yeah. Yep. Johnny LeMaster's been on, and he told some really good stories. Cisco days. And, of course, the other day we had, Greg Gibson, the MLB umpire, he's been on. Charlie Frank with the Cincinnati Reds Community Fund down there. Great guy. Perry Thacker with Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame. And then the other day we had Bronson Arroyo on, which I think I looked today, it's got like 14,000 some views on that one.
Oh, wow. That's neat. He was an interesting interview, man. Different guy, not from these parts. I was kind of even surprised to learn that he was from Florida, because he didn't seem like a Southerner, he just seemed, I pictured him with Boston Red Sox. So I've got kind of Northerner on my mind there or whatever. But the workout routine that he talked about, and I don't know, I thought it was neat that he opened up to you about he wasn't real thrilled coming to the Reds from the Red Sox. He wasn't too happy to be traded. It's like a little demotion. But the thing about Bronson, the older I get, the more I appreciate the guys who can eat innings. They may have that 3.5 or 4.0 ERA or whatever. They may give up a few runs or whatever, but they're going to go out there for their team. They're going to pitch 6 or 7 innings of good quality baseball. They may not win the game, but they're going to keep their team in it and give their team a chance to win. I always thought Bronson was that kind of guy. That it's easy to not like those guys when you're young and they don't have the stats, but you get older, you appreciate the longevity that he had and how he took care of his body. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, it was. And also, I think it eased his pain a little bit when the Reds gave him $35 million when he came over. So I think that helped a little bit too.
Yeah, wasn't too bad, was it?
No.
It had to ring.
Yeah. So I think that kind of helped him, but he was a real nice guy. I enjoyed talking to him, and he had his guitar beside him, which I didn't know he had that, and he pulled it out and started playing the JTM song that he had with Chris Welch on there, and he hit the first note, whatever. But yeah, he was a pretty cool interview and really fun and really receptive about what we're doing, and talked about before we went on, talked about maybe getting him putting on a concert here in Lewis County. So you never know what we'll come up with.
There we go. The NEKY Fest, brother. I already got the name. We're working on that.
It'll be better than Woodstock.
We're gonna borrow your stage. I hadn't told you yet. We'll come together. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, we'll just get Andy Cox and David Childry to be our bouncers up there.
There we go. There's security. We got security. I've got a buddy from Louisville's got a band that'll bring them over. We've got Eric Bolander that we can get from Lexington, homeboy. That'd be a good start. And bring Bronson. That's a show. Right? That's a festival right there. So
it's funny because I mentioned that.
Sounds good.
I mentioned to a couple of people. I said it would be nice if we did get Bronson here, if we had Eric to open up for him. So yeah, I mentioned that.
There you go. That'd be all right. Now let's segue a little bit and talk more specifically about your foundation, the David Iery Foundation. You can visit DIF35.org. I thought it was pretty neat that you put Derek's number in there for me. That number 35. That's who I think about. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy. But you've done a really neat job. Oh, let's see if we can get technical here. Somebody's done a really good job with your let's share screen. How about that, brother? With your website and everything. I was just wanting to show people. There's Bronson right there on your front page.
Yeah.
On a mission to cure paralysis and educate our youth, funding spinal cord injury research and various scholarships awarded to high school athletes. So really clean, nice looking website. There's the man of the hour right there at David Iery Day, down there with the Reds and hanging out with the hobnobbing with the big wigs there. And there's your story. It's got the information on the front page. Now, one thing that I want people to recognize is this little button up here in the right corner, and that's donate now. And we want to challenge you. Earlier today, Dave, I don't know if you got word of it. You might have got an email or something there, but it was I made a donation to your foundation, and I want to challenge all the members of NEKY Neighbors to do the same. Over the next week or so. Let's doesn't have to be much. Mine wasn't a whole lot, but it'll add. It'll all add up. And what you can do with those donations is accumulate that money, and then you make donations to help spinal cord injury research, and then you also fund athletic scholarships for high school athletes. So just want to let you know, let's get some funds rolling in there for you, brother. It's one of the best local charities that we have.
I sure appreciate it, John. And I got the email notification right before I came on here, so I was going to thank you for doing that. I didn't know you was going to set up a challenge, but yeah, we appreciate anything that you can do. We give quite a few scholarships out away a year, which this year we haven't been able to with the coronavirus. We usually give them out during the games and different things that we have for high school students, either at Whitaker Bank Park there in Lexington or some of the other fields. I know, this is kind of a breaking news kind of thing. I've talked to Beechwood and Kevin Gray there, and we're setting up a DIF Invitational down there next year. And we're going to do something like we do with the Classic in this area down there. And we've, already talked to some very big teams about getting into that next year. So, and we'll give scholarships away down there. It'll be a fundraiser. So, yeah, we do a lot with high school baseball. We do a lot with the Lexington Legends, Cincinnati Reds. And we also, last year at Whitaker, we raised $3,000 for spinal cord injury research just through the showcase that we sent to the Miami project that has already been used on some of the clinical trials down there. So,
wow, and that's awesome, Dave. I mean, you know, from Vanceburg, Kentucky, that's, to me, that's the neat thing, is we don't, where we're from, you know, just sitting here holding the whole world together. You have to tell people where it is. They've never heard of it before most of the time when you tell them where you're from. But you put on a diamond dinner in November, and that's what my blog post is about. And you brought in some of the neatest baseball players and coaches and umpires, and Danny Kyle Prater did a good job emceeing it. I sat there with Coach Kidwell and Mrs. Sapp, Miss Kidwell. We had Kevin Duff. I thank him for being his guest that night, and we had a blast. The stories I heard at the table, let alone your program, Dave. We had a blast with the people we were hanging out with. You know, it's just such a neat crowd. And one thing that I want to ask you about that I always notice is, it's called the David Iery Foundation, but you have an awesome family support system, and then you also have an army of helpers, brother. I mean, not just one or two people. A lot of people make that thing work, and to me, the success of it is in the details, and that's what I'd really talk about is some of the help that you get from your family and some of your members of your foundation.
yeah, and they do a good job, and I always tell people I want my volunteers to look good because I don't look the best in the world. So presentation is what it's all about. The better looking volunteers you have, the more people want to come to your events. But anyway, yeah, they do a lot of great work. I had this diamond dinner there in Vanceburg the last 2 years, but we'll probably have to end up, we're looking at moving it to Maysville this year if we can do it. The only reason behind that is you were there last year, so we kind of outgrew the only good location we had there in Vanceburg. So,
Right.
We're looking to move it at the VFW down to Maysville on the double. Yeah, it was packed, 150, and we couldn't get any more in there. And I even saw, I didn't know if you were table dancing or what, but I thought I saw you walking on the table back there somewhere. It's so crowded, but yeah, it's a great event.
Now, here's one of your helpers right here. I think he's referring to possibly our conversation there, but Brandon does a lot for you, doesn't he?
Yes, he did.
There
yes,
we go. Nate Stone. Brandon's a lot of help with your social media, and you can just see his fingerprint on everything, kind of a little bit behind the scenes of everything. And I think that statement right there sums it all up. It takes all of you, and it's got your name on it, but it's a big deal, and it takes a lot to make that thing go like it does. And you're to be commended, brother. So let's one thing also. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's do this. Looky here. Look at that. Now, so talking about our nation, sorry. Take the NEKY Neighbors Challenge. I've got your website down there, Dave, so they can visit DIF35.org. They can click on your donate button. The NEKY Neighbors Challenge I just put our URL on there and added DIF /DIF to it. So if you click on, or if you type in nekynow.com /DIF, it's going to take you right to that PayPal link. And you don't have to be a PayPal member. A lot of people think, oh, I don't have PayPal. No, we'll still take your money, won't we, Dave? Yeah, that's no problem. Exactly. It'll take a regular credit card, MasterCard, Visa, whatever, and it's for a worthy cause. So that'd be really neat to see a couple of donations go in, and I'm sure Dave will blow that up on social media for us if we get them. So now, anytime you get me and David Iery together, something's going to happen, and it is that we are going to talk some baseball like we haven't already most of the show. But we get to go on occasionally on in the late evenings or whenever phone rings. I'm always glad to see, Dave. And I promise I never groan. I hope you don't. Oh God, it's John again. I hope you don't get that. I'm always glad when you call, buddy. I love talking to you. So we talk a lot about baseball. It's been a big part of my life, big part of Sammy and our family. So the high school seniors got robbed this year. And I feel like we ought to pay tribute to Sam O'Keefe and Wyatt Yates and Jacob Prater. Is there another senior that I'm missing? Is there 3 or 4? Forgive me if there's 4. I was thinking there was 3.
Yeah, that's
we weren't going to have too many this year. It wasn't a big, a big class. Those. Yeah. If we're missing somebody, I apologize, and we'll come back on. We'll give you your own show or whatever if you want to talk baseball with me. And I need to get Sammy on. We'll do some more baseball talking. But you've got the Prater boy was coming out for his senior year, and I know Sammy said he was going to help because he's just a really good teammate and the kind of kid that you need in your program to contribute at that senior level. And then you've got Wyatt Yates and Sam O'Keefe, kind of a pitcher-catcher combination. And those guys have both signed with the University of Pikeville. And that's a pretty neat story, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, I talked to Sam O yesterday while I was at the courthouse fiscal court, and we talked a little bit, and I told him I was going to get him on the show sometime here pretty soon and talk to him about it. And he said he was excited, to get to Pikeville, and he's been there. He said it's a beautiful place. And, he was torn between baseball and basketball. He said he'd love to do both. He just wouldn't have time to do both. And that he stuck with baseball because it's his first love. And, I think it's pretty cool that the combination's going down there together, and hopefully they'll get to play some games together.
Yeah, we've got a connection down there. So Jody Hamilton coached at Raceland in Boyd County. He won state title there, Boyd County, early 2000s, I believe. His son Casey, he since moved to West Jessamine. Casey was helping him a few years back when Keith Prater took us down there to West Jessamine for a 3-way, and I know those guys were expecting 2 wins, and I mean, got to win over West Jessamine 2-1, pitched to Dandy, and then Corey Christie came back the next day or the next game and dealt on Grayson County. We came back with some happy, 2-0 campers. So that was the Hamilton's first taste of Lewis County, and it's since Casey took the assistant job at Kentucky Wesleyan College, and he wasn't the pitching coach or anything like that. He was positions and dealt with position coach and hitting. And he and Sammy first kind of butted heads a little bit. They didn't see eye to eye. Kind of Sammy called his blow a little bit on some of the things that he called him out, or they just kind of butted heads a little bit. But then once they got through that, now you wouldn't meet anybody thicker. They're both pretty tight, and so I think it's that we've got a little pipeline. It might not be Wesleyan. We've got Seth Wright down there at Wesleyan, but now we've got Sam and Wyatt down there at Pikeville with Coach Hamilton, and that's a pretty neat story. Sammy told him, he said, "You're getting to the kids that we got, and also 2 of the hardest workers, so those kids are going to go down there and blossom, I think."
Yeah, I think you're right too. And when you go any school and play the baseball on the next level, and as long as you love baseball the way we did and the way these kids do, it doesn't matter if you're playing for Kentucky Wesleyan, Pikeville, whoever. As long as you get that chance to play at the next level, make the most of it and enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, we'll have them competitive in no time. Just hated for the pandemic and everything, but yeah, they won't waste any time. He'll have that program built up and winning games real soon. And I'm looking forward to going down there and watching them play. That'll be a lot of fun. Now, one of the other topics we were going to cover is when it comes to baseball is kind of the plight of the minor leagues, Dave. Major League Baseball, everybody's had to take some extreme measures. They shortened their draft this year to, I believe, 5 rounds. So a lot of dreams may or may not be crushed there. A lot of dreams up there. And you've got a team like the Lexington Legends who are popular in their hometown, have a good draw. It's a fun thing to do in a community. Beautiful ballpark. They may not even be able to survive what's going on with all these minor league deal. They're cutting a lot of the teams out and everything. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, nobody really knows. Their only option, if they're not affiliated with Kansas City Royals, would be to go to an independent league, and that's an option. It's not the same as being affiliated with the Major League Baseball team,
right?
But it's still an option. Who knows? And with Major League Baseball, owners and players squibbling over every little dime they can get. Who even knows if Major League Baseball, will even have a season? And the way I look at it, if they can't get together, bring up the minor league. Heck, let's watch the minor league ball this year and get the minor league teams rolling, and heck with them.
Right. Yeah, I think they'd be surprised at the ground, local support, the grassroots, and that kind of thing. There's got to be a place for those parks, and it's just a summer thing to do. It's not all about baseball. It's the mascots and the and the ice cream, and it's just a fun night out. And I really feel for some of those minor leagues. I think going independent is something that could happen, but it always irks me to see Major League Ball and their players union. They throw minor leaguers under the bus every chance they get, every time they collectively bargain. I mean, it's like they forget where they come from. They don't let them have a pay raise, or they won't give them any money. I don't know. It's just kind of like they constantly treat them in a poor manner, and I hope it doesn't come back to bite them. I need to do what's best for the game of baseball as a whole, and promote the sport, and not worry about the dollars and the leagues and contracts. Hopefully we can get to that. So the other thing is, you mentioned maybe not being a Major League Baseball season, but if there would be, I think the Reds were going to be pretty competitive this year. I mean, that's the other good thing about baseball. It's all about hope in the off season and that kind of thing. But they made some moves, and even the coaching and scouting hires that they made. The driveline guy that Kyle Bodie, and wow, that to me, I kind of, they haven't been in on that, and again, and it's also neat to go to your diamond dinner and hear those guys talk about the metrics and the new baseball. They don't like that at all. I think that's interesting to see it makes sense if you think about it, but boy, they don't like it if you can't bunt, or if you're striking out too many home runs. So the Reds were going to be good, brother. I'll shut up. What do you think?
Like you said, you always have that hope before the season starts, and this year I think more people had more hope than normal. So yeah, I think the Reds were looking good this year. They had some great additions to the team and the pitching staff, and everything was really looking good this year. And I think this would have been, which of course we don't really know, but I think this year would have been a really good year, and I think they had a chance to looking at the playoffs this year. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. I think it would have been close. Votto, his health would have been key. Pitching coming along, they had some good young pitchers they were developing. I like the pitching coach they had, the guy from Vanderbilt, and I believe Coach Posey came from the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. We got Derek Johnson over from the Cubs. There was a good get. Yeah. And so hopefully the Reds can get on the field. Hopefully we can get down there, see them. Oh no, look at this. Sue Corn says hello, brother.
Hello,
We got
Dave.
Sue Corns watching, and Rod Meitzer says go Braves. So sorry, you only got TBS when you were little, Rodney. We're sorry about that. But
Should
a
have
lot of
watched
Braves
WT.
fans out there, man. Everybody watch TBS.
Yeah, you'd have the
And then
Braves.
Brandon comes back, projected the Reds. Brandon, a lot of folks projected the Reds to win the NL Central this year. Got the bats and pitching, in my opinion, and I agree. All right, Dave. Let me let's go to the favorite part of our show here, and let's do a little rapid fire. I didn't tell you we were going to do this, so
I've been watching you.
hot seat, brother. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see what happens here. All right. First question, pretty easy. What's your favorite type of music?
I would have to say probably bluegrass.
I knew that was coming. I knew the answer. You ever watch the old Blues Brothers movie, don't you? Where they say, we like both kinds of music, country and Western.
Exactly.
All right, bluegrass, and you got the stage up there, and Myron Russell built by hand, I'm sure, for you with all them logs they've been cutting. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, and
That looks awesome, brother. I want to get up there and check that out.
Yeah, when you're into bluegrass music, as long as we've been, you get a lot of connections there, and meet a lot of friends. So it's like when you have these singers over, it's almost like a family reunion. So that's always a good thing, and that's how you get into bluegrass and stay into bluegrass.
Hey, give a shout out to Uncle Bob. What's he got going on there?
Yeah, Bobby has a radio show there in Vanceburg every Thursday night from 7 to 9 on WKKS, which you can, if you can't hear it, we all don't live as close as John does to the radio station there, but if you can't hear it, you can go online and go to WKKS and it live streams it on there, and you can listen to it, and he plays a lot of good bluegrass music on there from 7 to 9 every Thursday night.
There you go. Tune in to Uncle Bob. All right, next question. Are you iPhone or Android man?
Oh, 100% iPhone.
Yeah. Hand me an Android and I'll probably just hand it back to you because I would not. They're like a different animal to me. I don't know how to work them. My brother, he says, "How do you do this?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's not known." I'm with you, brother. iPhone only here. All right. What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Strangest thing I've ever eaten?
Which from
myself, which yeah. Which I'm not a big pineapple on pizza person, but I'm not too crazy about pineapple on pizza. That's probably not the strangest thing I've eaten, but that's just something I don't really like.
All right. We'll take it. We'll accept that. All right, got a good one here. Who all's on your Mount Rushmore of Lewis County sports?
Well, the first one that popped
up is
Corky Prater would be
Corky Prater.
Yeah, he would be number one.
I gotta agree.
And he may not have been, the athletic part of it, but the athlete part of it, but I don't think he could do anything without Coach Kidwell being on there.
I agree.
And
got two more.
I'm trying to think too. Ralph Davis.
Russell and Myron. We'd go Russell and Myron.
They would probably fight while they were up there.
In their mind.
Yeah. So probably Ralph Davis. You have to have him here with you.
What about Mr. Davis, Ralph Davis?
Yeah,
might be one.
Yep, he would have to be up there. And trying to think of the fourth one. I don't know. We need to pick somebody from Tollsboro. So, somebody out that way. Heck, we could always put Todd Bain on there. He knows everything about baseball.
There you go. Todd. yeah, I was, Chris Harrison would be an obvious choice. Put a lot of buckets, a lot of bits for Mr. Harrison down the road there. So that's pretty neat question, pretty neat thing to think about. And we've got a few people that would, where it would look good is right there above the middle school across the road. We could just etch that in there on them stones and need an art. Get Coach Bentley on that.
Yeah, he would probably
have our own Mount Rushmore there when you pull in. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
All right. Here's the last one I got, brother, and I think I've set this one up on a tee for you. Who is your all-time favorite baseball player? I know.
All-time favorite player, I would say Pete Rose. But my all-time favorite person that played baseball, I would have to say Al Oliver.
Good answer. Good answer. I got the second one right. Yeah, I would agree, brother. His talk Diamond Dinner was very inspirational, and I like it when you get the old school at the Diamond Dinner. They don't mince words. They don't tell you, they tell you how it used to be and how it should be and how it needs to be, that kind of thing. I like Al. I feel so bad that he missed the daggone Hall of Fame by that much, but to have had the career he had, I mean, hold your head up high, because it takes nothing away from the accomplishments that he had, the teams that he played on, the teammates that he had. I mean, and to come from Portsmouth, Ohio, and have a career like that. And then, he's still giving back to the community and still active and with his faith and everything. And that's just a neat story, brother. I knew it was going to be. And Pete Rose, of course, that's easy.
Yeah, and Al Oliver, somebody that played 18 years in Major League Baseball, 303 batting average, 2784 hits, 7-time All-Star, batting champion in 83 with the Expos, World Series in 71 with the Pirates, and one of the first African American teams, the very first that ever played on the field together in 71 in Major League Baseball was the 71 Pirates, and they won it that year. But yeah, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of things he done, and it's surprising that he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Well, like I say, don't let that detract anything from who he is or what he's accomplished. And then now, what time is your interview tomorrow night?
8 o'clock. I talked to him yesterday, and he's going to have his daughter there to set everything up for him. He says he's having a little trouble with his phone, so hopefully we can get everything lined out, and he'll be on 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Excellent. All right. Love it, brother. All right, Dave. Well, I'm going to wrap here because and I know that we could go on forever. What is this, Brandon? We got a few more comments. Uncle Bob also invented and patented the only bluegrass board game world. That's awesome. We need a link to that somewhere, Dave. You better put that on the foundation page. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he created that a couple years
Brandon,
ago. He still has a few games left.
Todd, now. Good. Appreciate everybody tuning in. All right, buddy. I'm gonna let you get off here. I've got a little bit of I gotta get busy. Got some closing this afternoon. I'm sure you've got something going on. You're always going somewhere doing something, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm always doing something. And you're talking about the volunteers. I kind of like to tell everybody to keep Tabitha Likens in your prayers. Her mom passed away, and the visitations are tonight. And she does a lot with the foundation, and great person, and love her whole family. So
great family.
Think about her and Dickie and Kate tonight.
Yeah, condolences and sympathies to the Likens family, certainly. Thank you for mentioning that, Dave. All right, buddy. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And this has been NEKY Now Live. Thanks, Dave, for coming on. And now you're going to be on. Who you got tonight? 8 o'clock tonight. One more thing there.
No, we usually do them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So unless there's somebody special guest like Bronson Arroyo or or John Holder, but yeah, it'll be tomorrow night, and then again Friday night. Jeremiah Shear will be on Friday night, so he gets to follow Al Oliver. So
okay. There you go. That'd be good. All right, Coach Shear would be good to talk to. I'll tune in for both of those, buddy. All right, take care. Thanks for coming on, Dave. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me. Talk to you later, John.